Hi everybody, Melissa from Melissa vs. Fibromyalgia here. I've got some coffee and I've been doing some thinking. I love to share what I have learned in my journey so that it can help make your journey easier. And sometimes that's about general fibromyalgia, sometimes that's about healthy living, sometimes it's about productivity with fibromyalgia in the context of less energy. And one thing I'm particularly knowledgeable about now is managing children alongside chronic pain and fatigue. Now, if you've been following me for any amount of time, then you will know I'm a big fan of planning to alleviate stress and to make things better and easier to cope with. One thing I like to talk about a lot is pain management plans and folia management plans. If we write down what can help us ahead of time, it makes it much easier for us to use in the time. Now, back when I was worse and having more regular flares, I seemed to just sink into them. And I would hardly even know that I had sunk into it. And by then I would be too sick and too tired to even think of what could help. I would forget coping mechanisms. So by writing down a list, first of the things that I can do to help myself, like, medicines, topical creams, whatever helps, right? But also a list of things that I can do in ascending order. So if I was starting to feel quite terrible, then things to do. So it gives you something to be doing to be proactive, and it keeps you busy, but in kind of an energy friendly manner. So having that plan really made a difference. And I still even now have an active management plan for migraine. That's typically the thing that takes me down the hardest at the moment, and also the thing that it took me a long time to get on top of making the plan and doing what I needed to do. At first I didn't recognize it. I would get right into the thick of it before I realized I had gone there. So that took a lot of work. Now, when you've got children, there's a whole other layer to it. So I want to suggest that you create a bit of a flare plan for managing the children. So I have created a bit of a list of easy activities that you can do with children when you're in a flare. And I'll give you a few of the items on the list, and I'll link you to the page on my blog, because obviously there's a lot there, and me just shouting a whole list at you is not going to help. But what I want to suggest is that you have a look at the list, add some more of your own, and then two options. One, create like a specific list of what you would like to do, or have a list in kind of ascending order of your ability. So from your top ability to your bottom ability. So maybe the bottom ability is you lying on the couch while your kids watch TV. That might be your worst thing. This is assuming obviously you don't have help and you can't just take your medicine and go to bed, right? This is everyday coping. Actually, all of these activities are just great activities to have in your repertoire to keep kids busy. But I want you to think of it so that you can plan and be proactive, because I know a lot of us mamas end up in this cycle of guilt. So not only are we managing pain and fatigue, but then we feel guilty because we're not doing stuff for our kids. But here's a secret. As long as you are there and loving your kids, you've done it. You've succeeded. You have done way more than a very sad percentage of some parents, okay? You being there and you loving your kids is good. You are a good mama. And if you can make a list of things that can really help you, then hopefully that helps alleviate your guilt. So some of the suggestions are bath play. So if you're able to get them in the bath and get some bubbles going and just watch them play. Another thing is to let them put their gumboots on and just run around in the backyard. Like have a couple of balls, a couple of outdoor toys, just let them play. That I find useful for the really small ones. So my 14-month-old loves to just be free in the backyard. That's all he wants to do. Having a big box of Lego, whatever age they are, so whether it's Lego or Duplo, is a really great way to do it. And I want to offer a suggestion for making it a bit special when you do have a bit of a bad flare, is to create a flare box. So a special box that you only bring out when you really need it. And you can put things in like very special activities that you don't bring out in other times. So maybe you can get those non-mess paint books. So you put the water in the pen and then it comes out like it's painted. I'll put some links in the blog post as well, just to give you ideas in case you're not sure what it is I'm saying. You can have special coloring, and don't forget, like according to the age, you can have, crayons or super washable markers. It doesn't have to be things that can make a giant mess. It could be some Play-Doh, could be special books, special games, like maybe card games. It all depends on how old your children are. But the idea of having a special flair box makes it a little bit special, so you can tailor it to what will help you and what your children will like, but just something that sparks their novelty and their interest so that it feels special and fun. And they don't even need to know that you're in a flair, and it will help you cope. And tell me, do you have a flair plan, and are you going to start with a child flair plan so that you know what to do? Also, tell us below your best tips for coping in a flare, and what are your favorite low energy activities to do with your children when you're feeling under the weather, because I guarantee other mamas will be feeling it and needing it. And if you are a mama, again, I want to say you're awesome. If you are parenting at all, but let alone with chronic illness, you're amazing. It is hard, and you're so great. I hope that you will like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and follow me for more tips and tricks for managing fibromyalgia. Have a great day, guys.